Good morning. Today is Tuesday, September 9th. It is 7:21 a.m. Central Time. So doing quick review here pre-market for Tuesday. So we can start here looking at the dark pool levels on the Qs. And so really just looking for what was transacted on Monday, or at least reported as transacted on Monday. And so we got two levels here. First one here is the 576, which is about 200 million. Um, 200 million here, and then we have 579, which is a little over, let's say, 100 million, if we kind of add all this together. And so 576, if we do our little converter here, 576 puts us at 23677. And so I added this already to the chart, so you can see this 23677 level, which I have here, which is more or less the opening price for yesterday. And opening price for yesterday, and also kind of where this moving average is. And so we pushed up, and then we had 279. So if you do 279 here, so that's 23,800. And so 23,800 on the charts is roughly where we closed yesterday. And so, we opened at this dark pool level, pushed up, past this other dark pool level that we had transacted on Friday. And then on the close, we had another, I don't know if it was on the close, but at the level where we closed at, we had another transaction here for 100 million. And so now we're pushing up pre-market. So it feels bullish to me, right? Like we had this one launch off on Thursday up. We had this level here on Friday, and then we had this other level pop up on Monday, and now we're pushing up. And then we had this other one at the close, and we're still kind of pushing up. So it feels bullish, just looking at where the transactions happened and what price is doing. So we'll keep an eye on that. When we look at what's happening today with news and everything, so we got some Q1 reporting on wages and employment. Seems like a big deal, so we'll watch that about 30 minutes after the open. We have the Apple event, so I think we'll probably be bullish into that. I would expect, just because it's exciting. We're going to have new iPhones and all these things, and then maybe there's some cautiousness going into the close with the Oracle earnings, and maybe we'll check on what people think about that as far as options. And then we got, I guess, some tariff stuff after hours. So that's interesting there. The I guess if we look at orders that transacted yesterday for options, and we'll look at things that expire today, which is the 9th, and I'll just get everything. So most folks seem to be bullish on the flow if you bought options yesterday. So that is interesting. I guess biggest bets look like, $500,000, just straight up, buying calls for a 574 strike price. So that was deep into the money. So they're just long basically. Yeah, and so people are bullish. So that is interesting. We can also look at Oracle. What are we thinking with Oracle? Is that the right? Is that the right thing? Is there nothing expiring today for Oracle? Maybe not. Um, but everybody who bought options for Oracle yesterday seems more bullish regardless of expiry dates. Some expire on the 12th, some expire very, very far from now. So that is interesting. 1.4 million. Um, so we're selling puts. I guess we're trying to do just make premium on this. Uh, this one, there's a long bet there. So, and this one also is a long bet. So I would say more people are bullish on Oracle, which is interesting. I think for Apple as well. Let's see. Yep, super bullish on Apple. All the flow yesterday. So I think that's just what it looks like. We look like we want to be bullish. So we'll see what happens there. Um, and then just kind of doing a quick search on Grok. I mean, traders on X are largely optimistic. I think that is what people are saying. Don't have to read too much into that. And then asking GPT as well, and just talking about key events and um, talking about the rate cuts. I guess we've closed higher. I mean, I don't know if it was record high yesterday, but pretty close. The Apple event, and then we know we have CPI and PPI. I mean, I think, going into tomorrow, there's a lot of reasons for price to go up today with at least the tech sector, with the Oracle earnings and the Apple. And then who knows what happens on Thursday or Wednesday and Thursday with the CPI and PPI numbers. But it feels like bullish today, at least in the morning. So we'll just see. If we let's look at indexes really quick. Yeah, I mean, this is gearing up. If you look at you look at NASDAQ, just, we had this big indecision day on Friday, closed green on Monday, really strong, tried to test that high. We are now kind of at the high of yesterday pre-market, looking green. I mean, it looks poised to push up. Um, Even more so because the ES did break the high of yesterday, so that is interesting. And then the Russell, which has been leading us, I mean, the Russell did technically break the high of yesterday, but it's interesting that it's not really leading today, right? Like you can kind of see pre-market we're kind of muted, whereas ES is kind of leading. NQ is green, but hasn't quite broke that high of Friday. I mean, neither is ES, but at least we broke the high of yesterday, which the NQ has not yet. So we'll be watching that. It's quite interesting. We'll put an alert here on. I mean, I guess it did technically break the high, so that's fine. And then on the Dow, we did break the high of yesterday as well. But I mean, everything looks poised to break out. You know, yeah, you can't really argue with that. I mean, you can be open to being surprised for sure. I mean, you could always just open and sell off. That's always a possibility. But you just have to zoom out, see what price is looking like here, and just got to go and follow what it's doing. And this looks very poised, consolidation for a breakout. This looks like we want to break out. I mean, ES just looks like we want to break out. NQ is looks more like the Dow and consolidating here. But I think if we can push this, especially with all the tech catalysts today, like we could break out if everything was positive, and I don't expect an Apple event would be negative, but let's see. So there's that. Um, on the VIX here, just kind of hanging out. So we're just not, I guess everybody's not too worried. Dollars starting to kind of push back up after we've kind of broke all these lows here. Oh, we did eke out a slight lower on these treasury yields yesterday, and now we're kind of opening above there, so we'll see. And then XLK, yeah, pierced XLK. So so yeah, let's see. On the XLK for Friday, so we did break the high of Friday on Monday, which is different from what happened with the Qs. But then you're comparing Qs, which is like all trading hours versus just regular trading hours on the XLK. But it is what it is. Like we broke the high there. So that's interesting. And in pre-market, we are kind of opening right below the high. So we'll see what goes on there. But that seems bullish. And then our mega cap tech, interesting. Apple is kind of pulling back, so maybe people want to load up around here. Maybe we have who knows, maybe It's one of those things where super positive, we sell off and close the gap so people can load up more. That is very possible as well. So there you go. Microsoft didn't really get up to this level where I had the alert for kind of a retest here, just kind of hanging out, which is interesting. And in pre-market, we're at the high of that candle. So we'll watch that. Amazon looks strong. Pre-market a little bit lower than where we closed, it looks like. I mean, no, it's like basically out right where we closed, like 2 cents lower. So that looks pretty bullish to me. It looks like we did pierce that. So we're kind of breaking out here. So that's interesting. I wonder if we ever get up back to this 242. Having our alert there. Google pierced up, all-time high. Just nicely pulling back here. Healthy pullback, looks like. Nothing crazy. That's holding everything up. Meta. Oh, did we hit my alert? We might have hit my alert. I had to put another one here. It's possible it hit that alert and I just missed it. But yeah, we pierced up, closed down. Pre-market, we're kind of pushing up again. So, watching this, I'm going to move this alert up a little bit just to see if we go lower. It's interesting. For NVIDIA, so it looks like we pushed up. So it's kind of coming back to life here, pushed up, kind of reclaimed all that gap, hasn't really done much here. Well, it couldn't get past this dark pool level that we marked from Thursday, but I am curious if there's anything as of yesterday to write home about. So we did have about 400 million at this 168, maybe 500 million. We'll say 168.30. So 168.30. Let's see what this looks like. Oop. So 168.30. So right about here. Interesting. We'll lock that. So we'll just see how things look there on NVIDIA. Keep an eye. Tesla pulling back here and kind of break a little kind of upward channel. We're just grinding up. So that looks bullish. And then the Qs we have, we're above the moving averages here. Didn't break the high of yesterday's candle, and pre-market looks like we're opening. No, I mean, it looks like we're basically at the closing price, more or less, right? Oh, maybe $1 higher, yeah. So there you go. Looks pretty bullish. I guess one thing to check too is Apple. Did we have any dark pulls yesterday? We know the options flow is bullish. Ooh. So we got 23788, 1.1 billion. 23788. Let's look at this. 23788. 237. We'll just say here. So basically, more or less the closing price as per usual. This might be like market on close type orders potentially. Make that a little bigger. We'll make it orange. Cool. All right. So big transaction there yesterday ahead of this event. Are we going up? Are we going down? Not sure, but that is quite interesting. So we'll keep an eye there. And then I think that's pretty much it. I guess we could check Oracle if we wanted to. Let's see if we can do Oracle here really quick, just to see if there's what people So we know that the option flow is bullish, but since earnings is coming, let's just see if anybody put any big money down in the last few days. I mean, we have 51 million at this 2385 level, let's call it, which is basically the closing price. No, almost 238. Yeah, right here. So we had about 5 million transacted there. Am I right? No, 50 million transacted there. So not crazy like what you saw with Apple. Um, and price is going up from that level. So that is interesting. I guess we will put an alert below here just to kind of give us a sense of what the afternoon could look like. And so, yeah, that's pretty much what things look like for me. I guess if we come to the cues here and then we'll do our electronic trading hours. Let's just see if there's anything noteworthy here. I mean, we're kind of hanging out at this dark pool level, launched off of it, came back, launched off, bounced off of VWAP, kind of hung out, tried to retest this previous day high here and failed. So I may put another little line here. I mean, that will show up again on the charts, but I think it's just good to have that there as a reference anyways. So yeah, I mean, it's like we made this low at the afternoon of yesterday and then just kind of crawling back up, right? Higher high, I mean higher low, higher low, higher low, well, higher low, higher low, higher low. Looks bullish. Just looking at the pre-market, you look at all this, looks bullish. I think any sell-offs into dark pool level here, maybe even this yesterday's low, which is kind of coincides with this little sideways action the day before. I'll just kind of put this as well. Yeah, I mean, selling off there could be interesting for longs. I don't know. It's just like been a steady up, like kind of just very steady upward. And so there's probably no short for me if we keep going steadily up here. I would say looking at the hourly, yeah, I mean, maybe here potentially could be interesting just to kind of just see what's happening there. I'll sync that globally. Just see how that coincides with everything else. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty much it. I feel like this should be marked. I'm sure it is on the other chart, but I'm just going to mark it here as well. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm just kind of just seeing how price reacts, but if things look bullish, I think there's catalyst for us to be bullish in tech, and we'll just see how we go. All right, thanks for hanging out. Sorry, I think maybe this one ran a bit long, but good luck out there.